An abundance mindset always begins with a commitment to personal growth. Life does not expand simply because you want more. It expands when you become more. Many people hope their circumstances will improve before they do, but lasting change works in the opposite direction. When your skills increase, your confidence grows. When your knowledge expands, your options multiply. Growth is the foundation upon which all abundance is built. Personal growth starts with an honest understanding of where you are, not with guilt or self-criticism, but with awareness. You cannot improve what you refuse to examine. The moment you take a clear look at your habits, your thinking, and your daily routines, you gain power over them. Awareness is the first step toward transformation, and transformation is the doorway to opportunity. An abundant thinker understands that education does not end with formal schooling. Learning is a lifelong responsibility. Reading, listening, observing, and reflecting are not luxuries, they are necessities for progress. Every book read, every skill practiced, and every lesson learned adds another tool to your toolbox. Over time, those tools become leverage, and leverage creates freedom. Growth also requires discipline. Motivation may inspire you to start, but discipline ensures that you continue. Small disciplines practiced daily, such as setting goals, managing time wisely, and improving one skill at a time, may seem insignificant in the moment. Yet compounded over months and years, they create extraordinary personal and professional advancement. This is how ordinary individuals achieve uncommon results. An abundance mindset rejects the belief that success is reserved for a chosen few. Instead, it recognizes that success follows patterns. Those who consistently grow tend to attract better opportunities, stronger relationships, and greater rewards, not because life plays favorites, but because preparation meets opportunity. Personal growth also strengthens character. Integrity, patience, responsibility, and self-control are not inherited traits. They are developed. And as character deepens, trust grows. People are drawn to those who are dependable, thoughtful, and committed to excellence. Trust opens doors that talent alone cannot. Another essential aspect of growth is adaptability. The world is constantly changing, and those who refuse to learn fall behind, no matter how talented they once were. An abundant mindset embraces change as a teacher rather than an enemy. Each challenge becomes a lesson, and each setback becomes feedback, guiding improvement. When you invest in personal growth, you shift from waiting for permission to creating possibilities. You no longer see limitations as barriers, but as signals pointing toward areas that require development. Growth turns obstacles into opportunities and effort into progress. Ultimately, abundance is not something you chase. It is something you attract by becoming capable of more. When you commit to personal growth, you align yourself with progress. And once that alignment is in place, life responds by offering more chances, more resources, and more responsibility. Because the world always makes room for those who are committed to becoming better than they were yesterday. Abundance is never the result of luck or entitlement. It is the reward for value creation. The world does not respond to need, wishful thinking, or good intentions alone. It responds to usefulness. When you understand this, your mindset shifts from asking, what can I get, to asking, what can I give that is valuable? That single change in thinking separates those who struggle from those who prosper. Value is created when you solve problems, improve situations, or make life easier, better, or more meaningful for others. The size of your reward is often tied to the size of the problem you are willing and able to solve. Small problems bring smaller rewards. Larger problems, when solved with skill, integrity, bring greater rewards. This is not unfair. It's simply the way progress works. An abundance mindset trains itself to look for opportunities to contribute rather than opportunities to complain. Complaints drain energy and narrow vision, while contribution sharpens awareness and builds confidence. When you focus on becoming more useful, you naturally begin to see needs that others overlook, and within those needs lie opportunity. Skill development is central to value creation. Talents may give you a starting point, but skills give you momentum. Skills can be learned, refined, and multiplied. Every hour invested in mastering your craft increases your ability to serve at a higher level. And the higher the level of service, the greater the reward tends to be. This applies in every area of life, career, business, leadership, and relationships. Value is also multiplied by attitude. Two people can perform the same task, yet one creates far greater impact because of care, consistency, and pride in their work. Reliability, professionalism, and a willingness to go slightly beyond what is expected all add invisible value that others notice and remember. Over time, this reputation becomes an asset more powerful than any resume. An abundant thinker understands that rewards often come later. Value is planted before it is harvested. Many give up too early because they expect immediate recognition, but those who remain committed to contribution eventually stand out. The world has a way of finding those who consistently deliver value, even when no one seems to be watching. Another important element of value creation is generosity of knowledge. Teaching, mentoring, and sharing insights do not reduce your worth, they increase it. When you help others grow, you expand your influence. And influence, when guided by integrity, becomes one of the greatest forms of abundance. True value creation is not driven by greed, but by purpose. When your work is connected to a desire to improve lives, your motivation becomes stronger and more sustainable. You are no longer chasing rewards. You are earning them naturally through service. Abundance flows toward those who make themselves valuable. When you commit to solving problems, developing skills, and serving with excellence, rewards become a byproduct rather than a pursuit. This is how abundance becomes lasting, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. An abundance mindset is strengthened when a person accepts full responsibility for their life and learns the discipline of gratitude. Responsibility is not about blame, it is about ownership. The moment you take ownership of your choices, habits, and responses, you regain control over your future. Without responsibility, growth is delayed. With it, progress becomes possible. Many people give their power away by blaming circumstances, other people, or past experiences. While challenges are real, remaining focused on them keeps the mind trapped in limitation. An abundant thinker understands that while you may not control everything that happens to you, you always control what you do next. That awareness alone is liberating. Responsibility creates clarity. When you accept that your results are connected to your decisions, you begin to see where change is required. This is not discouraging, it is empowering. If your actions created your current situation, then new actions can create a better one. Responsibility turns problems into projects and obstacles into opportunities for improvement. Gratitude works alongside responsibility by reshaping perception. It trains the mind to recognize progress instead of deficiency. Gratitude does not deny ambition, it balances it. When you appreciate what you have, you stop operating from desperation and start operating from confidence. This mental shift opens your eyes to resources, relationships, and opportunities that were always present but previously overlooked. A grateful mind is more creative, more patient, and more resilient. Instead of asking, why don't I have enough? It asks, how can I use what I have more effectively? That question alone invites abundance. When you work with appreciation, effort feels lighter and outcomes improve. Responsibility without gratitude can feel heavy, and gratitude without responsibility can feel passive. Together, they create momentum. Responsibility pushes you to act, while gratitude sustains your energy. This balance keeps you moving forward without bitterness or burnout. Another benefit of responsibility is self-respect. When you follow through on commitments, even small ones, your confidence grows, you begin to trust yourself. And self-trust is a cornerstone of abundance because it allows you to take calculated risks and pursue opportunities without constant fear of failure. Gratitude also strengthens relationships. People are naturally drawn to those who appreciate effort and acknowledge value. Strong relationships expand opportunity, collaboration, and support. Abundance rarely grows in isolation. It flourishes through connection. Over time, responsibility builds capability, and gratitude builds perspective. One sharpens action, the other sharpens vision. Together, they form a mindset that sees possibility where others see limits. When you take responsibility for your life and practice gratitude daily, you stop waiting for circumstances to improve. You become the source of improvement. And once that shift occurs, abundance is no longer something you hope for. It becomes something you steadily create through thoughtful action and appreciative awareness. An abundance mindset is ultimately shaped by discipline, patience, and the ability to think long term. Many people desire extraordinary results, but few are willing to commit to the ordinary actions repeated consistently over time. Discipline is the bridge between intention and outcome. It is the quiet force that keeps you moving forward when enthusiasm fades. Daily disciplines are often simple and impressive. Reading a few pages each day, improving one small skill, saving a small amount regularly, or making time for reflection may not feel life-changing in the moment. Yet these small actions compound. Over time, what once seemed insignificant becomes the foundation of remarkable progress. Abundance is rarely the result of one dramatic decision. It is built through consistent, thoughtful behavior. Patience is equally essential. Growth follows a natural rhythm. Just as seeds require time to take root and mature, personal and professional development cannot be rushed. Impatience causes many people to quit too early, just before progress becomes visible. An abundant thinker understands that effort is never wasted, it is stored. Results appear when the accumulation is sufficient. Long-term thinking provides stability during uncertainty. Instead of reacting emotionally to short-term setbacks, you begin to measure progress in years rather than days. This perspective reduces fear and strengthens commitment. When you know where you are going, temporary obstacles lose their power to discourage you. Discipline also builds identity. Each time you do what you said you would do, you reinforce the belief that you are reliable and capable. That belief shapes behavior, and behavior shapes results. Over time, disciplined action becomes a habit, and success becomes a natural byproduct rather than a constant struggle. An abundance mindset does not demand perfection, it demands consistency. Missing a day does not destroy progress, but quitting does. Those who succeed are not those who never fail, but those who return to disciplined action quickly after setbacks. Persistence is patience in motion. Long-term thinkers also understand delayed gratification. They are willing to sacrifice comfort today for freedom tomorrow. This does not mean living without joy. It means living with purpose. Every disciplined choice becomes an investment in a better future. Patience also fosters emotional strength. When you stop expecting immediate rewards, frustration loses its grip. You become calmer, more focused, and more confident in your process. This emotional stability improves decision-making and attracts opportunities that impulsive behavior often destroys. Ultimately, discipline provides structure, patience provides endurance, and long-term thinking provides direction. Together, they create momentum that carries you forward even when progress feels slow. Abundance grows quietly, steadily, and predictably for those who respect the process. Those who commit to daily discipline, trust the passage of time, and think beyond immediate results discover that life gradually opens doors they once believed were out of reach. This is how abundance is built one disciplined day at a time, Sustained by patience and guided by vision, an abundance mindset reaches its highest expression through generosity, collaboration, and purpose. True abundance is not measured only by what you accumulate, but by what you circulate. When people believe resources are scarce, they cling tightly to what they have. When they believe abundance is real, they learn to give wisely, knowing that value shared has a way of returning multiplied. Generosity begins with the understanding that helping others does not reduce your own potential. In fact, it expands it. When you share knowledge, encouragement, time, or opportunity, you position yourself as a contributor rather than a competitor. This mindset builds goodwill, trust, and influence forms of wealth that often open doors money alone cannot. Collaboration is a natural extension of abundance thinking. Scarcity isolates, abundance connects. Instead of seeing others as threats, you begin to see them as partners. Every person you meet knows something you don't, sees something you don't, or can do something you can't. When minds align around growth and service, results multiply. Progress accelerates when effort is shared. And abundant thinker also understands that success is stronger when it is meaningful. Purpose gives direction to prosperity. Without purpose, achievement can feel empty, no matter how impressive it looks on the surface. When your goals are connected to contribution, motivation becomes deeper and more resilient. You are no longer driven only by personal gain, but by the desire to make a difference. Purpose sharpens focus. It helps you decide what matters and what does. With purpose, you stop chasing every opportunity and start committing to the right ones. This clarity saves time, energy, and emotional strength, allowing abundance to grow in a sustainable way. Generosity also builds confidence. When you give from strength rather than fear, you reinforce the belief that you have enough and are capable of creating more. This belief influences your decisions, your communication, and your presence. People sense it. Opportunities often flow toward those who operate from calm confidence instead of desperation. Another important aspect of abundance through generosity is legacy. Short-term thinking asks, what can I gain? Long-term abundance asks, what can I build that lasts? When you invest in people, ideas, and systems that outlive immediate rewards, your impact extends beyond your own efforts. Legacy is abundance that continues even when you are not present. Abundance thrives in environments where encouragement replaces envy and growth replaces comparison. When you celebrate our success, you train your mind to expect success for yourself. This emotional discipline frees you from resentment and keeps your energy focused on progress. Ultimately, abundance is not a solitary achievement. It grows through shared value, meaningful purpose, and intentional contribution. When you commit to giving, collaborating, and building something greater than yourself, life responds with expanded opportunity, deeper fulfillment, and a sense of wealth that cannot be taken away. Developing an abundance mindset is not a single decision, but a lifelong practice rooted in growth, contribution, responsibility, discipline, and purpose. It begins when you commit to becoming better, knowing that personal growth expands opportunity. It deepens as you focus on creating value, understanding that rewards follow usefulness, not entitlement. When responsibility replaces blame and gratitude replaces lack, your perspective shifts and control returns to your hands. Abundance is sustained through daily discipline and patient, long-term thinking. Small, consistent actions quietly shape extraordinary outcomes, while patience allows progress to mature without frustration. Over time, discipline builds confidence, patience builds resilience, and vision provides direction. True abundance reaches fulfillment through generosity, collaboration, and purpose. When success is shared and guided by meaning, it becomes richer and more lasting. Abundance is not about taking more from life, but about becoming capable of giving more to it. When you change the way you think, you change what you attract. And when your mindset aligns with growth, service, and purpose, abundance stops being a distant goal and becomes a natural result of who you choose to become every day.